Hi guys, this is part 2 of our story, Undersea Mystery Club, Problems at the Playground. Let's get started, ready? To the clubhouse, Violet exclaimed. To the clubhouse, Dusty said. Yes, Wally agreed. He had already forgotten all about the seagrass cookies. The best friends swam to their secret hiding spot, a small alcove in the middle of a nearby coral reef. What do you think happened? Violet asked. She plopped down onto a chair made of sand, and Wally started giggling. What's so funny? She asked. The coral is tickling me, Wally said. He wiggled his flippers. Wally, we need to focus, Violet said. Right, Wally said. Do you know what we should do? Violet did indeed. A brainstorm, they exclaimed together. Coming up with the ideas was one of their favorite things to do. It was also a great way to solve mysteries. Violet took out an hourglass, a pencil, and her trusty notepad. 3, 2, 1, go, she said, flipping the hourglass time over. Wally had already come up with a lot of ideas. Maybe an alien submarine came during the night, and it's part of their plan to take over the world, one park at a time. Violet laughed, and she wrote it down. Or maybe it was a mad scientist, Wally added, excitedly. And she used a giant, super powerful magnet to pull out all the screws and hinges and stuff. Violet raised her eyebrows, but she kept scribbling. Or maybe there was an earthquake, Wally suggested. Could be, Violet said, nodding. But I think we would have felt that. What do you think then? Wally asked. He was all out of ideas. Violet watched as the last grains of sand passed through the hourglass. Well, she said, those things are all possible, but it's also possible that it was just a troublemaker pulling a prank. But who would? Wally asked. They knew exactly who would do such a thing. Gil Sharkfin, they all said at once. Everyone in Aquamarina knew that Gil Sharkfin was the biggest prankster around. He loved playing tricks on people. In fact, Gil was so good at pranking, he had won the Best Prank Award every year since it had been invented. Of course, he also invented it. Violet and Wally found Gil right in the middle of town. Not surprisingly, he was moving the hands on the village clock. Look who it is, he said. Are you here to help me turn back time? Violet shook her head no. We're not here to play games, Gil, she said. Someone sabotages the new playground. And you just assumed it was me? He said. It usually is you, Violet said. True. And I'm honored, but I can't take credit for this one. My pranks are hilarious, not dangerous. Besides, your mom would exile me if I ruined any more town events this year. Violet knew he was right. Between Aquamarina's summer parade fiasco, bicentennial blackout, and the silent winter concert, Gil had definitely caused enough trouble already. Not that that would stop him from smaller everyday pranks. And then, ding dong, ding dong. The clock chimed so loudly that they all jumped. A shopkeeper came out of a store across the street. Hey, he said, stop messing with that clock. Got a jet, Gil replied, laughing. See you around. And he swam off in a flash of bubbles. Violet and Wally slowly swam back to their clubhouse. Now what? Wally asked. That was our only good lead. Violet thought about the clock striking twice. That's it, she exclaimed. If the culprit struck once, they may strike again. And Wally clapped his flippers. Meet me at the playground tonight after dinner, Violet said. We have to go back to the scene of the crime. If Gil or whoever else comes back, we'll be ready for them. Later that night, Violet and Wally returned to the park. We need a hideout to catch the thief in the act, Violet said. Wally used his horn to reveal a mermaid and narwhal-sized hole in the wall of seaweed. How about here? He asked. It's my favorite hide-and-seek spot. Perfect, Violet said. And good to know, she added with a wink. Oops, Wally sighed. Soon the friends were hiding from view. The long wait had begun. I'm getting hungry, Wally complained. You're always hungry, Violet laughed. But I have something for you. She reached into her backpack and pulled out a brown bag. Do you know what you eat during a stakeout? She asked. Steak, Wally cried. No, Violet laughed, but I did bring some leftover seagrass cookies. Wally smiled as he gobbled the cookies up. The sun was slowly disappearing overhead. Ugh, Wally said. This is taking forever. Shouldn't the aliens be here by now? Violet laughed. We have to be patient, she said. Besides, it's only been a little while. I hope they come soon, Wally said. I have to be home by dark. Me too, she sighed. Me three, added Dusty. What's that noise? Violet whispered, putting a hand to her ear. Is someone out there? Wally stopped chewing. No, he replied. My mouth is full. I just finished the bag of cookies. I think it was something else, Violet said. Quick, toss me those binoculars. Wally used his horn to flip the binoculars over to Violet. The last glimmers of sunlight beamed off the metal heap in the middle of the park. Violet adjusted her binoculars just in time to see something moving in the moonlight. What are those things? Violet whispered. Those are the aliens, Wally said. I knew it all along. They look like rocks, Violet said. Alien rocks, Wally added. Violet slapped her hand to her forehead. We have to get a closer look, she said. I'm going in. Wally gulped. He knew that meant he was going in too. And that's the end of part 2.